Good morning. Today is August 3rd, Monday, August 3rd. This hearing of the Local Alcoholic Beverage Board of Marion County is now in session. My name is Tyler Graves, and I serve as the president of the board. Today we will hear cases in Speedway, Beech Grove, Lawrence, and the rest of Marion County, Indianapolis. Let me see here. Representing the city of Beech Grove is Miss Angie Johnson. Representing the city of Lawrence is Mr. Jim Hennigan. Representing the city of Indianapolis is Mr. Peter Luster. Appointed by the Indianapolis City County Council is Miss Ebony Chappelle. And serving as our secretary of this board is Excise Officer Amy Sonier. This meeting is being broadcast live on Channel 16 and will be rebroadcast several times in the coming weeks. You are on television, and the board requests that you act accordingly. At this time, please silence your cell phone so you do not interrupt the hearing. If you find it necessary to take a call or to have a conversation with someone here with you, please be respectful of others and step out into the hallway. Here is the order in which we will conduct business this morning. We will first ask individuals who have come to remonstrate to stand and come forward to the microphones hanging from the ceiling. Give us your name and the name and address of the business you're here to remonstrate against. We will then hear cases on today's... Did you just hear that? Let me see. We will then hear cases on today's docket pertaining to the town of Speedway, city of Beech Grove, and the city of Lawrence. Next, we will call all applicants for new or transfer applications on today's docket. We will then call renewals on today's docket which have violations or remonstrators. After we finish today's published docket, we will consider cases that have been continued from a previous hearing. All of those coming before the board today, whether you're an applicant, representing the applicant, or here to remonstrate, will testify under oath. Officer Sonier will now administer the oath.
Going to testify before the board this morning, please raise your right hand. Do each of you solemnly swear, or from under the penalties for perjury, that the answers that you have given on your application or any answers you might give to any questions asked by this board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
If an applicant should have remonstrators, it has been the practice of this board to accept one request for continuance from both the applicant and the remonstrator. Should the board deem it appropriate, additional continuances may be granted. Are there any remonstrators in the hearing room?
I'm Sergeant Jonathan Kors with IMPD. We are entering against the New Yorker at 302 North Colorado and requesting a continuance for that, and also for the Pony 3551 Lafayette Road, and we are prepared for today. No.
Anybody here from the New Yorker?
It's Alex Innermill. I will show it continue.
I just talked to him.
Okay.
He's aware.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
The New Yorker's going to be continued.
And that'll be the Tuesday after Labor Day, Monday
Yes.
after next meeting?
Yes.
Applicants appearing in Marion County are required to have 4 items before the board can hear your case. We cannot hear your case if you do not have these 4, so please listen carefully. The first, the affidavit of compliance of posting the permit advertising sign from the ATC for at least 10 days prior to the meeting hearing. The second, the affidavit of compliance or notice sent to the property owners and neighborhood organizations that you sent written notice to about today's hearing. The third, the zoning affidavit obtained from the Department of Metropolitan Development. And the fourth, the Marion County tax clearance form from the Indiana Department of Revenue. If you do not have all these items, please let us know when you come forward.
In addition to the required documents, if you are a new or transfer application, you are required to have a final inspection approved prior to your permit being made active. I will give you my contact information when we hear your application. It is your responsibility to call me and schedule that inspection. I will not contact you.
All right, who wants to go first? Jim, you want to?
Okay, we have a transfer is RR 4944131 All Access Sports Bar and Grill LLC, operating at 9105 East 56th Street, Suite A.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nick Boyles with Bradford Riley with me. I have Clifton Jett, who is the owner for All Access. Going in there right at the 56th and Post Road location, in that suite off that very large building that kind of sits a little bit back, the suite on the very far left.
Right. It used to be the other, there used to be a bar
Ice
there.
bar.
Yes, there did used to be, Ice
Ice
Bar
Bar.
used to be there.
You have any affiliation with that ice bar?
No, not at all.
Good.
That was gonna be my first.
That was going to be my first question, too. So is this your first liquor license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this going to be 21 and over only?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me grab this.
So do you have your staff ready to go for the IDing people and stuff, or you,
Yes, we've
what's your plan?
we've got 2 weeks to go, so we plan on
Okay.
bringing in a third-party training as well.
Oh, that's good.
In addition to what's online.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, Jim, real quick, we have a set list of questions we ask all first-time
Okay, go ahead.
petitioners, so if you can just answer loud enough that we pick it up on the microphones. Did you prepare this application yourself, or did someone else prepare it for you?
I did.
Did you have a chance to review the application after it was prepared?
Yes,
Were all the answers contained in this application answered in a truthful manner?
yes.
Is there anything you wish to add to the application?
No,
Are you the only owner of the business?
yes,
Is there at least 200 feet between your premise and any church or school?
yes.
Do you understand that an excise officer may enter, inspect, and search your permit premise at any time without a warrant?
I do.
Are you applying for carry-out privileges?
No,
Hey, I don't believe you submitted carry out.
Are you applying for limited separation?
no.
All yours.
Oh, I'm good.
It's your first license. Do you have a policy on checking IDs?
Yes, we will check IDs on anyone that enters the building, especially anyone looking 40 and under.
So at the door?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens if one of your employees does serve a minor?
They will be reprimanded the first time, written up verbal as well. Second time would be termination.
Perfect.
Are you planning to manage the location yourself?
I am.
So this will be your full-time job?
Yes.
Be there every day?
I plan on, yes.
Are you aware of the issues that this location has had?
I am. It was a conversation I had with the owners and management company of the strip mall there, so
Okay,
it was a focus of our conversation.
okay. This board
Sounds
had
good.
real, I understand you're not affiliated, this board had real concerns with the operation of that location. Lawrence Police Department had real concerns about the operation of that location. So just keep in mind, you're gonna be under the microscope.
I understand.
Well, I've got no further questions.
You want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good luck, pal.
Bye, bye. Okay, we have a renewal is DL 4929236, KLG Food Mart Incorporated it's the Marathon Food Mart at 7013 East 56th Street. I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. We have another renewal is RR 4941966. I'm not sure how to say this one.
Eugenia,
Who?
Eugenia,
Eugenia Santana.
Indiana.
Location pending,
Renewal without violation?
without violation, yes.
So you,
Do you make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve. I was just going to
I'll
ask.
second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Okay, now we have a renewal with violation, RR 4939885, LaGuardia Mexican Restaurant LLC, operating as LaGuardia Sports Bar at 8895 Pendleton Pike.
Violation is still pending, so it will be continued to September.
Is this the second one, is it?
It may be more than that.
I think
but-
it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
But if the prosecutor's office is not done with it,
Oh, I get it. I'm just asking. I'm wasting a lot of ink here. No, I'm just kidding. That's me.
So that's it for.
ready to move on? All right, thanks, Jim.
Aye.
Angie, all yours. Moving on to Beech Grove.
All right, we have a renewal with violation, calling RR 4933178 CDG Enterprises LLC, doing business as Fifth Avenue Grill and Bar at 423 Main Street.
Anybody here from Fifth Avenue? There you go. Angie, I'm going to read through this, but you can, if you'd like to just start asking.
Okay.
Well, actually, this is your first violation?
Yeah,
Here, I'll help you.
okay.
Morning.
Hello.
Could you give us your name and relationship to the business, please?
Josh Gooden, owner. Jeff Dees, owner.
Okay. Do you guys know what happened? Why you're here?
We were here last month on a renewal for information that was not included on the renewal, so
Okay, yeah. I
we need to
kinda
disclose that.
remember. Okay. So where would you like to pick this up, Amy?
So, yeah, this is when we continued because they were unsure what the violation was. And what it was there were criminal convictions that were not included on the application. However, these are not convictions that would automatically exclude them from holding the permit. They're misdemeanor violations, and they have submitted the proper paperwork, the amended paperwork to the processor that reflects those violations, or those convictions.
So we have no problem with the license, there were no violations per se, it was the paperwork that they filled out, they didn't,
It was a violation. So the reason we continued it was because they had not filed the amended paperwork to reflect properly what should have been submitted.
but it was a violation from the paperwork,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's been filed now.
That's been filed, I can see it in the computer. Yeah,
And we didn't have quorum last time.
that's
Yeah.
true, we didn't have a quorum last time.
All right, well, that's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, all right. I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, I'll second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that takes care of Beach Grove. We have nothing in Speedway, so Peter, Mr. Luster will start with Indianapolis. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Angie.
Calling RR 494-3884 El Barragan, Inc., address 7515 East Washington Street. Morning.
Did you also send the notice to your neighbors?
Yes.
Do you happen to have a list of the names and addresses that letter went to and a copy of the letter?
I do not.
Would it be possible for you to email that to me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you my card, and what we'll do is we'll have you go ahead and sit back down. If you can email that to me, then we'll call you back up and we'll pay you then, okay? So go ahead and hang on to this. I'll give you my card, hang on. Okay, so you guys can have a seat back up.
Calling RR 494-3915 Recess LLC-S, address 902 East 17th Street.
Recess LLC.
That's strange. All right, I'll show them continue.
Calling RR 494-3952 Tacos Locos LLC, address 8654 East Washington Street.
New application, do you have any paperwork with you?
I do not. This is honestly my first time here, and I had somebody coming in. They said that the owner had to be here, though, so I mean, it was just kind of like a last thing.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
You didn't have an orange sign posted, so we can't hear you anyway, so it's going to be continued. You're
Okay.
required to post a big bright orange public notice sign. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, that has to be posted. Go ahead and come forward for
Yep.
me. Did you do your paperwork, or did you have someone do it for you?
We actually had someone do it first.
Okay, who did your application?
It was an employee, it was Nelson.
Oh, okay, so it's not actually a preparer or an attorney? Okay. I'm going to give you this. And counting the 4 documents that we have to have before we can hear your permit application. We're going to continue to September, which will, because of the holiday, will be on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. There's my email address at the top, and then this will explain all the steps that you need to do.
Gotcha.
Okay?
All right, appreciate it.
Yep.
Calling RR 494-4023 Hannah Hunted Acres, Inc., doing business as Hannah Hunted Acres, address 7323 East Hannah Avenue.
And we're first case. you like to introduce your client?
Yeah, absolutely. Bart Harriman with the Clark Quinn Law Firm. With me today is Scott Waterman with Hannah Haunted Acres, located at 7323 East Hannah Avenue. Better get my glasses on here.
Yeah.
If I may. So this is an entertainment and recreational kind of a park, theme park. It's been in operation since 1992. They have 78 acres, and they have operated off temporary permits the last 3 years. There's been no incidents at all involving alcohol. This is a civic center application, so there's 2 statutory requirements. The first requirement is that it's got to be a site for performances, musical, theatrical, and other entertainment. They certainly check that box kind of right off the bat with all the entertainment that they have on site, and they're adding additional entertainment activities. It also needs to include a site with at least 600, where 600 individuals can be seated at a given time in permanent seating. There are roughly 500 to 4,000 people that come through here every evening during the season, and they have performances that can be standing room only. So they need additional space to, to kind of host all those patrons and to have a stage where they can perform. In addition to the nightly count, there's roughly 50,000 people that come through there every single season. The different entertainment they'll have plays, sideshows, sword swallowers, fire performances, and various other entertainment. They originally wanted to have more music, but they have agreed with the neighbors to keep the decibel level between lower than like 62 from one of the property lines, 62 decibels, and so acoustic at best, I think, is what they're going to be able to do there. They have, if you take a look at Exhibit A, it should be the first tab you have there. Those are photos of the seating that they are going to install. They have not yet installed that seating. They wanted to make sure that obviously before they spent the time and energy with the zoning, which they just went through, and the Alcoholic Beverage Board, they want to make sure they'd be approved prior to that. But you can see from there the type of seating that's going to go in. It's seating for 600 people. We've kind of measured the planks and everything to make sure that that's going to be satisfied.
Oh, that's why we got to pick. I was wondering why you were measuring the length of it.
Yeah, so typically seats are anywhere between like, I think 18 and 20 or sometimes 22.
Got it.
And so we wanted to measure to make sure, if we have, I think we've got here at 20 inches, it's 1,000 feet of bench seating. It's basically 25 rows of benches that they're going to install right in front of right before the stage. The stage has not started, but we plan to complete that here within the next month, assuming this goes forward. Exhibit number 2 there is all the approvals from the zoning, including the sale of alcoholic beverages for entertainment type activity. Worked with the neighbors. We've got commitments from them to keep the decibel levels low, planting of some vegetation for noise purposes. And we've got a plan of operation in there as well. I don't want to bore you with it or make you go through the whole thing, but just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Similar to White River State Park license?
Yeah, it is similar to that. So there's different civic centers. Ruoff, for instance, is one as well, but there's also smaller venues that now have civic center permits so long as they have seating for 600. Some of them, if they're nonprofit, only have to have seating for 200 actually under the statute.
So seasonal, what, are you just going to be operating in the fall, or what's your season?
Our primary season is the fall.
When do you begin?
We will open September 11th this year.
And run to?
I believe it's November 7th.
I'm sorry.
We have, in our zoning variance time, other times that we can open for additional things, but our primary business is the fall. We have not opened any of the other times yet.
Okay. Can you kind of walk us through a typical night? I mean, obviously there's the haunted house. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of walk us through what to expect if we were going there for the first time?
Well, come in there, we have 4 haunted houses, a hayride, cornfield maze, food. We've been doing that temporary alcohol, other vendors and activities, and a lot of our live characters come in through there. You can buy a ticket where you can come in and go through each one of the things one time, or buy a ticket to go through and stay and go through them multiple times in the night.
Tell me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
I was say, how will the amphitheater fit in to?
It'll be in our commons area where everyone, if you come in and out of a thing, it's in our giant area in the center that you'll be able to come in and watch shows or whatever we got going on there, depending upon where you are in line. And it's kind of positioned where some of the lines can kind of watch what's going on there, even at that. So it'll be kind of a blended thing.
Like ongoing throughout the evening, or?
On and off. Run different shows at different times.
If you look at tab number 3, you can see kind of a layout of the premises. If you go down about maybe 2/3 of the way, kind of middle to the right, you can see where the stage is being built. And then alcoholic beverages and kind of the restaurant type area will be off to the left from there.
Walk me through the transaction. You'll have one physical space where the alcohol that will take place?
That's our current plans, yes.
Okay, so there'll be one spot right now. And you'll check IDs where?
Every time of purchase.
Every time it's purchased?
Yes, they get a wristband that says they're 21, so then our security can know they're in cups, so we can see what's going on in the cups.
You changing those wristbands daily? Shake it up?
Yeah, shake it up.
Where
I have
will
a question.
I'm sorry, it doesn't, unless they're just not seeing it, which building will serve the alcohol, the concession stand?
Would be to the east of the concession stand. It's not well identified on there, but about 150 feet east of the, hang on, I'm wrong. on that.
If you look
70
at,
feet.
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there. If you look at tab number 4 there,
Yes.
Officer Sunyek,
Yes.
there's pictures of the outdoor area where only adults, so this is Civic Center, so limited separation isn't required, but we're going to require it in this case because we don't want minors walking up to the area to buy alcohol. We want it cordoned off. So this area that's kind of cordoned off in, I guess I would say orange in tab 4.
But where would that be on
Yeah,
here?
so immediately to the left of the stage is my understanding. You
You wanna come show me?
Show you.
It says concession.
Concession fee be kind of like right in this area.
Okay.
Just to the east of the concession stand.
The building hasn't been constructed yet?
It's temporary, you can get right now.
Okay, so it will always sit here.
It's temporary, so we might adjust it. I mean, everything's kind of mixed around in the 10 years we've been doing things.
Uh-huh.
But, that's our current plans.
Okay. Okay. So just next to the concession stand building is what they're talking about. Okay. All right, thank you.
You had a question?
That was my question as far as like the transaction is if you had a separate area. This is my first time hearing a Civic Center license, but if there was a separate area for alcohol to stay within.
Yeah, so they would be served where only 21-year-olds could go, but then they could walk out of there and be on the entire premises. But minors would not be able to get in there, even though if you think about Lucas Oil Stadium, you can go up and get a beer, and a minor can go up and get a soda right next to you, but we're not going to allow that because we think it's just better to kind of separate the two.
Okay.
How's the operation been set up with the temporaries? How have you been doing that? Similar area?
Exact same thing.
Okay,
It's what we have there is what we've been using for the
for
temporary.
the temporary applications?
And how long have you been doing that?
3 years.
And how many violations? What happens if you get one?
As in,
A violation. What if one of your employees serves a minor?
they're gone, termination.
Okay.
How many employees do you have that would serve alcohol?
That would serve alcohol, 5 or 10.
I should also say that there's, depending on the size and the demand, there's 1 to 5 off-duty police officers there every day. There is 1 EMT who's an off-duty firefighter as well. But they've had no issues with alcohol, but you get that many people coming through, heat stroke, there's certain things that can happen. It's good to have an EMT on site.
With the temporaries now, the way you've been operating with those, are customers allowed to take the drinks throughout the property now?
They can go out into what we call our commons area, yes. They can't go inside the haunch or any of the rides or any of the stuff with it, but in the middle area, yes, they can.
Okay. Standing in line, they can stand in line with their drinks?
Any further questions from the board?
When do you plan to have this completed, ready for inspection?
Soon. I don't have an exact date on that yet.
But you're wanting to have it in place prior to opening for the season?
I would like to try.
Okay.
All right. Any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you for your time.
You want these back?
Sure. Unless you really want to keep them.
And keep in mind.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Calling RR 494-4044 Miguel Alvarado LLC, doing business as Mexican Restaurant, address 3648 North High School Road.
Morning.
Good morning.
Not seeing a POA. You said there was a POA? Okay, okay, all right. Oh, wait, here it is. It's here.
All yours.
All right, good morning. I'm Dennis Esava. I'm an accountant. I represent Mr. Alvarado here. He's right now running a restaurant. It's in 3648 North High School Road. It's a family Mexican restaurant. Regular food, tacos.
Is this your first alcoholic beverage license in the state of Indiana?
Yeah.
I didn't ask the last guy that. All right, we've got some questions. Answer loud enough for us. Did you prepare this application yourself, or did someone else prepare it for you?
Yep.
He did.
I did. We prepared for it.
Do you speak English, sir?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's okay. Let's just. Can you?
Yeah, I can
help?
translate.
All right. So, you prepared the application?
Yes, we did.
Did you have a chance to review the application after it was prepared?
Revisaste todo. Como te- Yes.
Were all the answers contained in this application answered in a truthful manner?
Todo es correcto.
Sí.
Yes.
Is there anything that you wish to add to the application?
¿Hay alguna cosa que quieres aumentar en la aplicación?
Todo bien.
No.
Are you the only owner of the business?
¿Tú eres el único dueño? Sí. Ajá.
And is there at least 200 feet between your premise and any church or school?
Sí. ¿Tienes de distancia?
Sí.
¿De dónde tú?
No hay escuelas.
Okay. There's no schools there, right.
Do you understand that an excise officer may enter, inspect, and search your permit premise at any time without a warrant?
Ya sabes eso.
Sí.
Ah, he could hear that. He had that one.
All right. Are you applying for carry-out privileges?
¿Quieres que la gente que lleve alcohol?
¿Como la gente?
No.
No.
No. We didn't apply for that.
Are you applying for limited separation? The bar area?
No. No, we didn't. apply for that.
There is a bar area.
There's a bar area, yeah.
It's been marked full separation. Do you have full walls between the bar and the family dining?
Yeah. There's a wall. I mean, it's when you
Partial
walk-
wall or full?
Yeah, it's a partial wall.
Okay.
And you can walk in, and then it's a direct walk into the kitchen, or you take a left into the bar area. But yeah, there's the restaurant area is on the right side, and when you walk in, you'll see on the left side is the bar. So
Okay.
it's kind of, there's a separation there.
So with the partial separation, then you're going with limited separation?
Yeah, I
Right?
guess
The wall doesn't go from floor to ceiling?
actually it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how wide is the opening between the bar and the family dining? Is it a regular doorway, like 5 feet, or? Is it a large?
It's a little bit wider. I don't think
Okay.
it's, yeah, it's a little bit wider. It's just more of a space as opposed to an opening.
Okay.
So you're having the bar is there, and when you walk in the door, the first thing, you see the wall, there's a wall on the left side where the bar is, and then the sitting area is on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least for now, pending the inspection, it's full separation.
Yeah, very much.
So the language barrier is not a problem, but we do need to know that he understands the rules and responsibilities that come with having this license.
Yeah, I made that clear to him.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so what is your policy for checking IDs?
Que no menores de edad, nada.
Okay, so he's checking everybody, and yeah.
What happens if one of your employees serves a minor?
¿Qué pasa si alguien sirve?
Correrlos,
Yeah, yeah, he's going to fire them. Yeah.
You're currently open and operating as a restaurant?
Está ahorita trabajando.
El restaurante como comida sí, pero
Yeah.
bebidas no.
How long?
¿Cuánto tiempo?
Un año.
About a year now.
About a year?
Yeah.
But no alcohol
No
at this
alcohol,
point?
No.
Hours of operation?
9-10.
9 to 10.
9-10.
9 in the morning to 10 at night?
Yeah.
Great. Are you clear on the process for purchasing alcohol? Does he understand the process to get alcohol?
Yes, we have oriented him on that.
You've already-
We have oriented him on that, so
Okay.
he should know that.
Well, just-
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, and as a side, his partner is very fluent in English, and
Well, it's not
she's
an owner, though.
She's not an owner. Yes, I understand that, sir.
Okay.
But like I said, we've oriented him on that, and he's good with it. Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to ask. Oh, just make sure, I want you to, you understand you have to purchase from a wholesaler, correct? You cannot purchase alcohol from a liquor store, drugstore, grocery store.
Ya sabes que tienes que traer alcohol de la gente que están registrados. No con tus amigos ahí en el corridor. Okay? He understands that.
No. Any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good luck, sir.
All right. Thanks. No bueno.
Calling RR 494-4052 Burger Joint Express, number 2 LLC, doing business as Rise and Shine Breakfast and Burgers, address 1345 West Southport Road, Unit 10.
Good to see you again.
I guess he needs no introduction, so I'll
been
let
coming around for a
him
while
introduce
now.
himself.
Hi, my name is Jose Moniz. I'm the owner of Rise and Shine Burgers and Breakfast. And then we're here to apply for a beer and wine license.
How many licenses do you have in total?
I think there are 6 now.
You're up to 6?
Yeah.
How many violations do you have?
The past last 3 years, none.
None? Last 3 years?
Yeah.
All right. Is this an existing business that you're buying?
Yeah, it's already open and everything.
Okay. What are your hours of operation?
7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just breakfast, lunch, and brunch.
Just beer and wine?
Mhm.
Okay.
Not changing anything about the current operation?
Nothing.
Are you keeping the employees?
Yeah.
How long has this place been open?
It's been open since 3 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago.
Any questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Calling RR 494-4110 Fire Grill Bar Resto LLC, doing business as Fire Grill Bar Resto, address 2105 Midhofer Road.
There was no sign posted at this location. Anyone here for that location?
Calling RR 494-4161 Gangham, Michigan LLC, doing business as Gangham Korean Steakhouse, address 3851 Benson's Road.
Good morning.
Got a similar haircut.
Good morning, Nick Broyles with Bradford and Riley. Again with me, I have Paul, I Kim, sorry, manager for Gingham. This is going in, or is taking over existing operations there, just off of Michigan Road, just south of the Costco there. It used to be the Harmony Steakhouse location, and now they're switching concepts to be a Korean steakhouse, Korean grill, or barbecue.
Yep.
So just changing concepts and switching out the license, actually downgrading from a three-way to just do a beer and wine.
Okay. Is this your first alcoholic beverage license?
No.
How many do you have?
There's, I believe, six, I think six that are on, five or six that are under, Harmony.
This
Same
is Harmony.
home ownership as the
Same
Harmony.
ownership
Correct.
structure?
Yeah, just
Okay, so
changing
you're not
concept.
the owner, you manage the facility?
So
Correct.
basically, I just manage all the locations and just kind of
Like a
help
general
with
manager?
operations.
Correct,
Yes, sir.
correct.
Okay, how many violations have you general managed?
I believe there's 3 violations as of recent.
It's a lot of pages.
Sorry. I believe there's 3 violations in the last number of years across
Across the whole thing.
all of their locations. Most recently, it was one for operating under an expired permit because of the tax. There's a tax protest that was holding up the license being renewed, and that was on I believe the downtown location.
Yeah.
Yes, it was what we were just here for a couple months ago on that one.
So what happens when an employee does serve a minor?
So it is automatic termination. Yeah, we don't, we take that very seriously, so.
What percentage of alcohol is your sales at any given restaurant?
Especially for hibachi, I mean, when you're at the grill side, usually it's always like someone wants a Sapporo beer or some hot sake, but I think majority of our percentage is mostly food sales, so.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Is
Hearing
this
none,
location going to go with the new limited separation exception?
So it's all table service at this. There is no bar.
So
at this
we
location.
took the bar out.
You took the bar out?
Yeah.
Because we
Okay.
wanted to add like so the whole concept is all you can eat Korean barbecue and hot pot. So taking out the bar, we just added more like buffet stations so that
Okay.
people can create,
Okay, I know that location, that bar was kind of in a weird
spot before,
It was very, very weird. It used to be the old, originally the old Charlie's. So on that location of that, it just kind of blocked a lot of the kind of pathways throughout the restaurant, so.
Okay. Is the location ready to open?
Yeah,
Yes.
they've been operating for a couple of months. I
For a
believe.
couple months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just switched over.
Yeah, okay.
If no further questions, I'll accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you.
Calling RR 494-4167 Taqueria Hernandez, Inc., doing business as Taqueria Hernandez, address 2640 Madison Avenue.
Good morning.
Morning, Nick Rose with Bradford and Riley. With me, I have Jose Melendez, owner for Taqueria Arandas. This is, down there on Madison, kind of on your right after the split, I believe. And it's kind of in its own little triangle lot that kind of sits up a little bit and looks down onto Madison. It's been there for a number of years, and previously had a beer license there a number of years ago. Had surrendered that.
The 20s.
Yes, surrendered that, doing some changes to the location, and then now reapplying for a new license.
Is it a three-way?
Just a beer and wine.
Beer and wine. Okay. Sir, do you have a policy for checking IDs?
Between 38 to 40.
You check them if they look between 38 and 40?
Yeah.
What happens if one of your employees serves a minor?
That's the last day work.
It's the last day they work?
Yeah.
What if they're related to you? You got any family members?
And I don't care who is.
Don't care?
Yeah.
understand that.
Business is business,
That's right.
Well,
and the law.
What are your hours of operation?
Right now, we open by 11 to 10. But I planning to open by 6:30 to 7:30 to 12 o'clock.
All right. Is this going to turn into a bar, entertainment space?
No.
Good.
No, there's got a little space to put the beer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
a small place.
like a kind of a former fast food restaurant. So it's a smaller dining room space, but yeah, and an order counter at the front, but it's all table service.
Any plans to serve out of the drive-through window?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to have drive-through service for food?
Drive-through window? Yes.
Yeah. You're going to use the drive-through window?
Yes.
Okay, you understand you cannot serve alcohol out of the
Yes.
drive-through window?
Yes.
All right, any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to transfer applications.
Calling RR 493-7583, Union House Beverage LLC, doing business at Cinderwood, address 601 South Meridian Street, Suite 400.
Where's this thing at, South Meridian?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mark Webb on behalf of Union House Beverage. Okay, so this is what we'll call form over substance. There will be no changes in the operation. Cinderwood currently operates at 601 South Meridian Street on the 4th floor. It's a catering hall. They've had, and they were approved here about 3 or so years ago, they were approved for a CH permit, which is an off quota, it's not on the quota. The trade-off is that they cannot do events that are open to the public. They're only for private events. They are now acquiring for use a Type 210 that will move into that space. They will then be able to do events that are open to the public. I have with me here Alan Krieger. Al is the owner of the building and did all the restoration. This is a historic building. How many square feet is that building?
The 601's a new one, that's not,
Oh,
the 525 is the old one.
Oh, the old one, okay. So he built 601. How many square feet?
70,000.
70,000 square foot building. And I have with me Jeremy Bainai, who is one of the owners of what was the old Cinderwood permit. Jeremy will now be the designated manager on the NQ. So, and I brought them here, so if you have any questions about the operations, how many employees does Cinderwood have right now?
We have one part-time employee, and then our bartenders are all employees, but they are all just event-based. They are not full-time bartenders for.
When you need them, you need them.
Yeah.
So what kind of changes do you see coming with this, being able to have events that are open to the public?
Yeah, we don't plan to make any substantive changes. So one of the things that we ran into going all the way back to the NBA All-Star Game, we had a nonprofit that rented us for the entire week, held a whole bunch of events, and at the end wanted to have kind of a celebration party. And ATC officers informed us, hey, the way that they are pushing that party, if the public can buy a ticket, this is a public event. We are not looking to become a club. We're not looking to, host these major things. We just want to make sure that when we do those things with our clients, they can advertise them to a broader circle. Officer Senier and I have had the conversation, if the Red Cross emails 10 million people inviting them to their gala, is that a private event? But if they put it on Instagram, is that now a public event? And so Al had one of these licenses that we were able to procure, and it's mostly just to kind of avoid any of that gray area in some of the events that we want to host.
So you'll be the name on the license? You're going to own the license?
Union House Beverage, yes.
Okay. All
And
right.
you own the building?
Yes.
All right. Then you'll be the manager for the, okay. How long have you had the catering set up? Or the way you've been doing it recently?
3 years.
And how many violations do you have in those 3 years?
0.
All right, so when you talk about, I guess, promotions, how are you going to handle promotions for these events?
We don't promote the events. So, I mean, like these are clients that we have coming in. Largely it's nonprofit galas, business meetings with a happy hour at the end, networking events, convention overflow, customer appreciation kind of things. So we don't do the promotion that is just the client. And again, one of the issues that we've had over the 3 years is if they promote it in a way that crosses that line into public from private.
So would you offer any, like when they're signing their contract to rent the space and you have everything on there, like how to handle trash, preferred caterers, et cetera, would you be willing to provide some guidance on how they can promote so that it stays within the bounds of whatever this license is?
Well, that's what we have been doing, but this 210 would mean that we don't have to worry
That
about
you don't have to.
this.
Okay.
We would be able to be open to the public so that they don't have to be careful about how they promote it.
They will still have to notify the commission of any time they'll do an event that's going to be open to the public. With this type of license and the designation that you're requesting, it will allow for you to have any type of promoter in there. And this board cringes when we hear promoters in catering halls. So how will you vet who you're going to allow to rent the space? Are there, certain criteria you look at when you're going to rent the space to someone who wants to have an event open to the public?
The easiest way that I can say to vet it is my landlord doesn't want this to be a club. It is, the other 5 floors are an office building. We have neighbors that we are across the street from. I am the president of the Stadium Village Business Association. We have a very vested interest to make sure that this does not get abused and turn into a side door nightclub.
Good.
And you understand that when you rent the space to someone, the permit holder is ultimately responsible for any violations that occur.
Yep.
All right. Any further questions from the board?
How do you handle security?
We require security if alcohol is going to be served past 11 p.m. We also lock the front doors. So this venue is actually on the 4th floor of the building, so we have cameras and lockability. So once a wedding or a nonprofit event starts, we actually lock the front doors to prevent other people from coming in off the street to begin with. They come up to the 4th floor. And then as far as physical security in the space during the events, if they are serving alcohol past 11 p.m., if we require it. We have talked about, hey, if it is going to be something that is designated as we're going to advertise this broadly to the public, then we could require security for those too. But again, for the most part, we're talking about private events where security is not a major concern for most of them.
Got it. So will you have preferred security vendors, or will it be open to them to just hire whoever they want?
I had not given that a lot of thought. I have 2 different companies. If someone came to me and said, hey, we want to hire security, I got 2 different people that I'm friendly with the owners that I could pass it on, but we haven't discussed a requirement of you have to use one of our preferred vendors or anything.
What's the max capacity? What's the largest event you could hold in that space?
I believe it's 405, and it's egress. The square footage can actually handle 650, but egress puts us at 405 or something like that, and we've went through that with the building inspectors and stuff. So.
Any further questions? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling RR 494-4101 Encore Ultra Lounge Inc., doing business as Encore Ultra Lounge, 234 South Meridian Street.
Okay. They
Encore?
requested a continuance, I'm sorry.
Okay. Calling RR 494-4108 El Campesino Mexican Restaurant LLC, doing business as El Campesino Mexican Restaurant, address 2959 East Michigan Street.
Good morning, Nick Boyles with Bradford and Riley. Oh, sorry. Got to give you stuff. But with me, I have Sylvia Estrada Solis, the owner for El Campesino, and then she will help to translate as well.
So who's the owner?
This is Sylvia.
You. Okay. Ma'am, is this your first alcoholic beverage license in the state of Indiana?
Sorry, it is not. This is so they currently had a 112, a beer wine license that they're swapping out for a three-way license. So they've acquired a three-way and just upgrading but they've had a two-way license there for a number of years.
How many years?
If I'm not wrong, 3.
3?
3.
How many violations?
None.
None? What is the capacity of your space? How many people fit?
¿Qué es la capacidad del restaurante?
We have 12 tables. I think it's like maybe 40. More so. 40, 45.
Yeah, 42.
Okay, and your hours of operation?
So we switched them. Now it's from 10 to 10.
10 to 10. Okay, what happens if one of your employees serves a minor?
So it's either just getting fired, or what we can do is we can go through the training again, because we understand that we have employees that has been with us since like the start. So they are good employees. So what we'll do is if they do end up serving a minor, we will give them like kind of like a warning, give them the proper training again, and if they do it the second time, fired.
Are you the manager, or what's your role?
Manager, I'm her daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're saying we a lot.
Yes,
so.
they're both regularly at the
How long have you been
restaurants at all
open?
times.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And have you had customers, they wanted more than beer and wine?
Yeah, there's times where our customers kind of be like, oh, like, do you guys have like Patron and stuff? I'm like, no, we don't. So half of the time we'll lose clientele because we don't sell high brand liquor.
It's a classic Mexican restaurant, so just kind of rounding out the full offerings there. It is all table service, though. There is no bar in the location. It's an order counter, but then everything is served to the table.
Any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion
Second.
to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling RR 494-4153, Hen Kitchen LLC, doing business as Hen Kitchen and Bar, address 1206 West 86th Street.
It's another Nick. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
We'll allow Nick to get his paperwork.
Yes.
Nick Royals again with Bradford and Riley. With me I have Kenlea Browning, one of the owners for Hen Kitchen. This is the old Ocean World restaurant there at 86th and Ditch. So just taking over, doing some renovations to the space right now to kind of switch it over to their own concept, but we'll still say a kind of Asian themed
Yes,
Thai restaurant. Ms. Browning has a number of locations with alcohol service and both three-way and two-way licenses.
How many?
Yeah, 8 or 9. She's had a number for a number of years.
8 or 9.
Just recently,
Yes.
the most recent she took over operation was downtown here on Mass Ave, the Oishi sushi and I guess or ramen, yeah, pho restaurant, yeah.
How many violations do you have on any of your licenses?
There are a few violations. Trying to pull up the list again, but she's had permits going back to
2008?
Yeah, 2008. So she does have a number of violations. I think last time we discussed, the most recent was in Zionsville in 2025. There was a
no, that one I sold.
yeah, she sold that
long times
location,
ago,
and there was
I
just
don't
a
know the
manager. There was a
transfer.
manager
Yeah.
paperwork issue on that one, but that was the most recent that was listed under a permit that she had.
Okay. You guys have any questions? What is your policy for checking IDs?
We're gonna check everyone look under 50.
Under 50?
Yes.
And then what happens if an employee of yours does serve a minor?
They get terminated right away.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling DL 493-3813, S&P Liquor LLC, doing business as S&P Liquors, 2936 Mid-Hoffer Road, Suite A.
This happens to him every time. Bang, bang, bang. Good morning.
Morning, Nick Burrows with Gratcher and Riley. With me, I have Surinder Paul, one of the owners for S&P Liquor. This is a transfer of location. So they previously had this license location pending while they were looking for a location to enter. They are doing some construction to a gas station that they own to basically add on a suite that will include the liquor store. So separate business. There's no other license at that location.
But
they
this
are just
board's
doing
already
construction.
approved that license, and then it
In
was
the
an
ownership of
escrow
them,
until
correct.
he...
Yeah, so now we're just looking at the location, which is right there at, just south of 30th, and kind of, there's a gas station at the corner of 30th and Midhofer.
When do you plan to have construction completed?
We're expecting like within 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, they've finished the outside, they're still working on or most of the outside, they're still working on some exterior, and then we'll do the build out.
And there is no doorway or access between what will be the liquor store and the gas station?
No,
Okay.
it's true. Solid lock.
Completely separate?
Yes.
Okay. How many employees will you have on the on the liquor store side?
2.
2, so one working at a time, or 2 working at the same time?
One work in the morning, maybe one, we see how it goes, and probably one part-time.
Any questions from the board?
Is this your first liquor store?
No.
How many do you have?
One more.
You have one more? Here in Marion County?
Yes.
Any violations on that?
No.
And how long have you had that permit?
4 years.
4 years?
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling DL 493-4634, CK Brothers LLC, doing business as Shell Oil, address 5104 East 21st Street.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, could you take your hat off for me, sir?
Sure.
Appreciate it.
All right, sorry, Nick Burrows with Gratcher and Riley again. With me, I have Baldev Singh, owner for CK Brothers LLC. So this is an existing gas station operation that's been there for a number of years. They're just transferring over purchased a beer wine license and transferring it over to the location. So yeah, it's going in there at 21st and, is it Emerson, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, 21st and Emerson.
Is this your first alcoholic beverage license?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Did you prepare this application yourself, or did someone prepare it for you?
No, they're prepared for me.
Nick, did you have a chance to review the application after it was prepared?
Yes,
Were all the answers contained in this application answered in a truthful manner?
yes,
Is there anything you wish to add to the application? Are you the only owner of the business?
yes,
Is there at least 200 feet between your premise and any church or school?
yes,
Do you understand that an excise officer may enter, inspect, and search your permit premise at any time without a warrant?
yes,
Are you applying for carry-out privileges? Are you applying for limited separation? I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. What's your policy for checking IDs? How's this going to happen?
Well, standard, we're going to put a sign on the door. And then I have a point of sale system. Anytime you scan the barcode, it will pop up a check ID, and transaction cannot move further until the cashier check the ID.
What if they just punch in a number? Can they do that? Punch in a birth date?
Yes, they can punch in.
And it'll override and it'll go through?
Yes.
All right. So it's helpful, but it's not foolproof. I mean, they'll figure that out in a couple seconds. All right, so this is your first license. How many employees do you plan on having?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. What happens if one of them serves a minor?
Well, first time I'll give them the written warning and train them again,
and the second chance, they have to go.
Early on, will you do any kind of secret shopper where you send somebody in just to see if you can get by?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
How long have you owned the gas station?
But 8 years,
8 years. Have you had any violations on your tobacco certificate?
no, as long, no.
None?
None.
Is this the only gas station you own?
Yes.
Yeah, only one?
I have some other with my wife, yes.
You have some with your wife? How many?
4.
4. Any violations on those tobacco certificates?
I think on one,
What was that for?
the few years back,
What was it for?
selling the cigarette to underage.
Underage? What happened to the clerk in that case?
We trained them, and the clerk is still there.
The clerk is
So
still
it never
there.
happen again, because same thing, we change the system and check ID pop up on the system, and they have to check ID.
Does that system give you a report of any sort? Do you, as the owner, can you go in and check in a week's amount of time how many times the scanner was used and what dates were input?
I'm not on deep on these things.
All right.
But anytime just scan the barcode, it will pop up big time, check the ID.
Right, but then you just punch in a number and you go right past it.
No, they physically check the ID and they can scan that license.
Yeah, I guess.
You understand you cannot sell cold beer?
I know.
Beer
Yes.
has to be warm.
Yes.
Any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a comfort break before we get over here. We're going to take a 5-minute comfort break before we get to the violations. Nope, not yet. It's on here. We're getting ready to start that section.
Violation, so unfortunately you're at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the first one I was like, is this what you called me about? Yeah. I knew it was missing. Oh, do you have the?
Should have sat. Should have sat there the whole time.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I called you. We just wanted to get Thanks.
As soon as you walk in.
Okay. Violations. So the pony.
Is that the relief?
That's what Mary Clark's here for. The pony. Yeah. You should know.
I'll tell you, I didn't. I mean, I'll read through it, but I don't remember a lot going on. Yeah, you see stuff in the
I didn't either. That would be pretty good, though.
Well, let's see here. Yeah. That feels
I'm gonna recall this one real quick and see if they.
Oh, is that the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember who it even was.
I saw you guys a lot longer.
Young guy.
I know. Do you know which one that was for?
Yeah, it's gonna be the first one.
Oh, okay.
She waited till you had we still go.
All right, calling the meeting back to order. Same rules apply as previously stated. We will start the violations. Mr. Luster, you can call the first.
Calling RR 499-1276 KB Co. LLC, doing business as Rookies Eatery and Pub, address 2450 East 71st Street, Suite 100.
This was a renewal without violation. However, there was a remonstrator present at last month's meeting. Sir, are you wishing to still remonstrate?
Are you still remonstrating?
I have some questions.
So then, yes, you're remonstrating?
Yes.
All right, and so they're not here?
No, we have ATC power of attorney on file.
I need to swear you in because I don't believe you were here at the beginning of the meeting.
Yes.
You were?
Yeah. The security officer at the back can verify that.
Okay. I see it. I didn't see you back there.
Do we have the report on this one?
We couldn't hear
There
from
is
back
no
there.
report. There's no
There's no
violation.
report.
I said we couldn't hear from back there.
You couldn't hear. Would you like me to swear you in again? I can do it
Sure.
again loudly. Go ahead and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from under the penalties of perjury that the answers that you've given on your application or any answers you might give to any questions asked by this board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can have a seat. Just remind the board, this is a renewal without violation. However, we had a remonstrator the last meeting.
If you could just start with your name, sir.
Certainly. David Kingen, 355 East Ohio Street, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. The questions that we raised before the board last month were that this property is zoned residential, D5. We verified between that month, last month and today, we did verify that they are zoned residential. However, we did find a variance for them in June 19th of 1990 that indicates that they can have a restaurant, pub, located at 2450 East 71st Street. It does say to permit a restaurant and pub located within 100 feet of a dwelling district with a wall sign. And what our research has indicated is that there is another dwelling that is within the 100 feet. But I think the issues we would raise today is we would still request another continuance. We'd like to meet with the attorney and the prospective owner. We still feel that they are not in compliance. There is a church 10 feet from the back wall of the building that I think is an issue that has not been addressed in this variance and no other variance that we could find. As we indicated there, the approval letter indicates that the approval is for a wall sign. We believe that there are more than one. I don't know if the attorney would be willing to agree to that, but there's more than one wall sign on the premises.
So,
go ahead.
This board is to grant the approval of the alcohol, or to grant the approval of the alcohol permit at that location back in 1990, received a clearance from zoning. So zoning had inspected and or verified that they were in compliance with those rules and regulations that variance provided. And so if they are no longer in compliance with that, that would be brought up with zoning. The point of the church, they do also predate that church, so they are grandfathered in without having to have any permission or anything from that church. They've been in operation since before that church was there.
Well, my response to that, I guess, would be that what you say may be accurate, but it would seem to me that it would be much better to have this contingent and try to resolve it with the applicant with very little cost, as opposed to having zoning getting involved, sending letters and fines out to this individual for their lack of compliance with the zoning regulations, and going through that whole process.
Sir, have you spoken to anyone at zoning about your concerns?
I have.
You have? And what was their answers to you?
I haven't really been able to, I still haven't been able to get a copy of the affidavit. Do you have a copy of the affidavit?
I have a copy of the zoning approval from when this application was processed.
In 1990.
This one is for when the current owners took over in 2010. 2010. And that's the paperwork that this board uses when we consider our approval for a location. As far as the church goes, again, that's an exception. They predate the church. And if the alcohol permit predates the church, then they can have a permit within the 200 feet rule.
The other issue that I still think perhaps needs to be addressed is that it indicates that this variance in 1990 was for beer and wine to be located in the third eastern unit of the strip center. Is that all that this license involves?
We can only go by what approval we received from zoning. The approval that this board has says this location, this address, is approved to be a restaurant or tavern. Can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
What do you do for a living?
I'm retired.
Do you offer services to help people with their zoning issues?
I do not any longer.
You don't any longer?
No.
So you retired from that and you just seek out issues with zoning, or?
Or client, I may have clients that I've served in the past, but I'm receiving no compensation for that.
You don't seek people out to make money off of?
No, absolutely not.
Your zoning issues?
Absolutely not.
David, I'd say it this way. I've seen you around the building for years and years.
Right.
I'd bet on you. You're a pretty smart guy. You know this stuff
I'm not
better
a very
than-
smart guy.
Well, for the debate, I guess. But I think you're really intelligent. You know your zoning stuff really well. It's just not this board. We don't, zoning tells us either they can be heard or they can't be heard, and then we hear it. And so I'm not disagreeing with your intelligence or whether you're right or wrong. I'd bet you're probably right. You're good at this. But they send us the list. They say this list can be heard, and we hear it. So now I've got a whole room full of actual violators that I'd like to get a hold of. I don't know how long you want to have this conversation.
Not very long.
Okay, how much longer?
Probably 5 minutes.
I'll give
2
you
minutes, maybe.
2 minutes. Give me your final two.
The issue, I think, that what you've said, I think you're missing my point. I
think so.
Neighborhood organizations and private individuals are not being served properly by, in my opinion, either it's DMD, Business and Neighborhood Services, and this board. Those three need to get their act together and make sure that when an applicant comes before, that you're meeting the regulations of those departments.
Every day I walk through that door, first Monday of the month, I assume that the people in the positions to give us that clearance have done their due diligence, and the clearance I have is full and complete. We come in here, we hear the case, and we go out. You know, that's just the way the process works. I don't meet with them any other time in the month. They have a responsibility. They earn their paycheck. When we hit that door, that's the list we can hear.
I have a question about the neighborhood groups. Do you have a letter of complaint or something like that from the neighborhood group where this establishment is located?
Not this one, but I did appear before this board 3 or 4 months ago and did have a letter from one of the most reputable neighborhood organizations in the city of Indianapolis, and it served no purpose.
Because again, your issue is with the zoning. You don't go before the zoning board to discuss alcoholic beverage permits. This is for the alcoholic beverage permit. We do not hear an application without a clearance for zoning from the neighborhood, from the Department of Metropolitan Development. I have that sitting in front of me. Therefore, I feel like this board does have its act together and that we make competent decisions based on the information provided to us. And
Based
so
on the information you have provided to you.
So I'm going to make a motion to approve this renewal.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, sir.
We'll continue the process with other agencies.
I wish you the best.
Great luck. Thank you.
All right, now, violations. Real violations.
Calling RR 498-1046, Ronan Inc., doing business as El Emporium, 8617 through 19 Allisonville Road.
Damn, I don't think I've ever seen that. Oh, there's a three. That's funny.
Okay, let me look this up.
Mark Palambaro from Mark M. Palambaro Trust. This is Michael Scott Baum, one of the principal owners of Ronan Inc., El Emporium.
Is it Bond?
Bond, B-A-U-N.
Bond? Mr. Bond, do you know why you're here?
I do.
Why you're here?
Apparently, we had a violation for having 5 employee permits that were expired.
Okay.
And I believe, from what I understand, they ran in January of 2025 and then back in September. And for some reason, those same 5 employees were still working and didn't have permits.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
Yes. Then in the meantime, they went in, they corrected, they went to a new See-To-It system where they put all the employees in the computer. Okay, and every shift change or every shift, the permits pull up. Now, if one's expired, if it's within the 30 days, they are notified, the employee is notified that they have to have this renewed or they can't go through their shift. Okay, and also what we're doing is, because this permit's been in existence since 1981, 45 years.
Yeah.
And
45 years.
maybe 3 or 4 violations. We can't find anything, no violations of serving a minor, anything. Everything's all been clerical and so forth. And then they operate 3 other locations. The 3 other locations are newer. One's in Greenwood, one's in Fishers, and the new one just opened in A1.
98 in 1 year.
Yes, and then and they are all on the new system.
So the whole corporation has all
And
these
this is the last one to go onto the new system.
Well, I'm not worried about those other counties, but it's good to know you got this one squared away.
What happened? How did this happen?
In all honesty, I fell through the cracks with my managers and general managers. I actually just found out about this
probably like 60 days ago. Okay, when I notified the board going, was there a violation? And what we did is now we're going in, and all the managers from all the different shifts, because he has some turnover. Okay, now, and what we've done, and we're going to following all new MQs for each one. Okay, for the beverage managers and the general managers and the shift managers. So they're all on the permits. So everybody's responsible for everybody's actions. And moving forward, and we apologize that this happened, but it was just slipped through the cracks.
I mean, I really don't have a good explanation for you.
Honesty's the best, and we've seen people try to come up with others. How did the process work before the new electronic process?
It was all on paper, and there was a paper hanging up in our office, and when it came close to the date, they would take a highlighter and highlight it.
Sure, it's time to update that process.
Yes.
And so that's what you've done, you've updated that.
And the electronic procedures, those are accessible by any manager on duty. If excise comes in at any time, they're never going to be told we can't get into the system.
They can access it from their phone. Every single one of them has a login. I can see each store. The other ones can just see the individual store.
Okay.
But they look at it daily. It's a daily log, daily reporting. If there's any issues, it goes in there.
Then all the new MQs will be filed tomorrow morning on everybody. We just got all the new information, all the managers, and we're doing it for all the locations.
Okay.
All right. Any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion? Yes, I make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Calling RR 49046, calling RR 4904646, Buckeye Beverage Corp., doing business as, just call them. Connor's Pub, address 6331 North Ferguson Street.
This one will be continued.
Calling RR 4905556, Two Star Inc., doing business as the New Yorker, address 302 North Colorado.
This one will be continued.
Oh.
This is the one IMPD requested
You're
to
right.
continue. It's on.
Calling RR 4904389, RCI Dining Services Indiana Inc., doing business as The Pony, address 3551 Lafayette Road.
This one has remonstrators. Yeah, we'll have the remonstrators on this side.
Wait,
and
wait,
then-
can we have, who are the remonstrators?
We don't
We have
know.
Sergeant
IMPD.
Oh, Mary, are you here to remonstrate?
Yes, Mary Clark,
And you are?
with the International Marketplace Coalition.
Okay, we have not had any notice of this. We've had, this would be like the third hearing.
I was invited by
Okay.
IMPD.
Okay.
And we're going to ask for a break,
Yeah. So,
You mean like a hallway?
at least, to
yeah,
start.
so because
Maybe more.
because Mary wasn't here to state that she was a remonstrator at the beginning of the meeting, then we've got to give them the opportunity to maybe speak with you in the hallway.
That's fine.
If Mark, if you decide you will.
Yeah, she was here.
I know,
Okay.
but this is like the third hearing.
Right.
We were here in June and July, and there was no indication of a remonstrance other than IMPD. And so
Yeah.
that's all we've known.
If I can?
Yes, ma'am.
I was here in July and it was postponed. Is that when I was here? Because I came up and I saw the commander as I was walking up, so that meeting did not happen in July.
But we got called and then continued. We were here. We were here and got called.
So because you weren't here at the beginning of the meeting to state that you would like to remonstrate, I will give you guys, we'll put this one a little bit further down the list, give you a moment to step out in the hallway, but I do want to hear this permit either way today.
I don't recall this. No, that's what I was about to say. I didn't call it. I'm only going to call it the first one.
Yeah.
All right, calling RR 4943884, L. Barrington Inc., address 7515 East Washington Street.
Did they come back? All right,
I don't
we'll
see
show them
that.
continued then.
Yep. Calling RR 4905500, Key Set LLC, doing business as Key Tavern, address 5170 North College.
Hello.
Hello.
Were you present at the beginning of the meeting?
Yes.
You were sworn in?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Leslie Settle.
Settle? Miss Settle? Settle?
Yes, S-E-T-T.
Miss Settle, do you know why you're here?
For a violation?
I'm sorry.
For a violation.
For a violation?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I don't know exactly.
You don't know what your violation's for?
No, I didn't.
Are you the owner?
I'm the manager.
Manager?
Where's the owner?
My father is the owner. He's in a nursing facility.
So let's see. This violation occurred, this was a compliance check by excise that occurred. It's an older one. It occurred September 13th of 2024.
Okay, yes.
Do you remember that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Could you tell us what you remember?
Oh, but he served a minor.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you had your license?
The bar license, 75 years.
Long time.
Yes.
How many violations do you have in 75 years?
Well, I haven't been around that long.
Sure.
So, as far as I know, since I've been there, I think maybe 3. I think they were all like minor, serving a minor.
How long have you been there?
I have worked there 20 years.
And are you the acting manager then?
Yes.
Have you submitted a manager's questionnaire to the commission?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so we need to get you to do that ASAP because I'm assuming that it's, let's see. Because right now I'm showing ownership as James Settle and Dottie Settle. Are those your parents?
Yes, my mother has passed away.
Okay, so we need to get the owner. I'll give you my contact information. I need you to get in contact with me so we can make sure we get the ownership updated.
Okay, I just sent in some paperwork for POA.
Okay. Okay, but along with being POA, if you're running the bar, you also need to fill out a manager's questionnaire.
Okay.
Okay, and we can walk through that at a later date. But going back to the violation, compliance check, what happened to the server? Were they
I
fired?
did not terminate him. You know, I gave him a warning.
Okay.
And said this cannot happen again. I spoke with all the employees. Everybody understands. Card everyone.
How long has this employee, how long have they been working for Reiki?
2 years.
2 years?
2.5 years.
Okay. Something that's concerning in this one is them saying to the officer, I don't card the minors when they're with their parents. I don't card them when they are with their parents.
I did not know that he said that.
It's in the violation report that the officers just documented. If you weren't there, you wouldn't have heard it, but
Yeah, I was not
think you're right that it's not a great policy just because they're with their parent.
Yeah, to serve a minor alcohol, yeah. Because I'm like, did you know they were a minor and this is like a normal occurrence where kids are allowed to drink if they're with their parents? Because it can be read that that's what they meant by that. By saying, I don't card them when they're with their parent. Because it's like, you know this person that you're serving is with a parent. You don't card them and you serve them.
And maybe just don't add your own flavor to the law, right?
Yeah, don't add your own flavor. Especially with you mentioning that some of the other violations do have to do with serving a minor. So I just wonder if there's some new training that needs to take place with everybody to just kind of change the culture of that.
Okay.
Because it's reading like this is a culture thing.
And I'm playing your plan is to run this bar and continue the family tradition?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it's a famous place. But with that, you get a lot of people wanting to come in there. So you're going to have people trying to come in. You're in that Broad Ripple, Sobro area. You get a lot of youth. So just making sure that you and the paperwork gets updated to the current status, and then that your employees are staying aware. And you got a great reputation. You're on a great bar. Just got to make sure that we change with the times a little bit as far as it relates to the laws and policies in this state, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. With that, do we have any further questions? Hearing none, do we have a motion? I'll make a motion. Makes motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. There you go. All right.
Did you go?
I did.
Okay. I'm going to give you my card.
Okay.
Email's the best way to get a hold of me. Just get a hold of me, and then we'll talk through what we need to do.
Okay.
Calling RR493-6138, All Around Services and Repairs LLC, doing businesses in the Grill. Address, location pending.
Anyone here for Negril? Continue.
Calling DL493-2035, Raha Oil Inc., doing business at Shortstop Gas Station, address 239 East Michigan Street.
Raha, here we go. You guys just go ahead and have a seat right there. We'll read through the violation, or we'll get started here. Who am I talking to? Who are you?
Me, Harpreet.
Harpreet?
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Gerard.
Gerard?
Gerard D. with the David.
Oh, Gerard. And then who you have with you?
Babacar.
And what's his relationship to the business?
The partner.
Partner?
Yes.
So you're both 50/50 partner owners?
30-50, so like we have probably one more other partner, but that's about it.
But you either do or don't have another partner.
Yes, we do have another partner.
Yeah. Okay. Who's that? Who's the other partner?
Samadhi Singh.
Okay. All right. Do you guys know why you're here? You know what the violation's for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who wants to speak to it?
I think that would be me.
Let's go. What happened? Why are you here?
Was it a drinking violation for a liquor license?
Well, yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be in this.
Yeah. Anything else you know about it? I mean, this is the Alcoholic Beverage Board, so it's going to be a drinking violation or alcohol violation in some regard, so it doesn't give a lot of clarity that you know what's happening inside your walls. Do you know anything more about the violation?
You know more.
Like, I think he was have DUI.
It was a who?
A DUI, drinking. He was over drinking.
Yeah, it was like drinking, and then we tried to apply for it, and then, you know.
Paperwork. Okay. Is that? So you didn't fill out your paperwork correctly, is that right?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Geez, guys, come on. I mean, help us.
Yes, that is
I
it.
need to know, do you own this license and do you know what's going on inside of the walls?
Yeah.
Yes.
So then why are we here today? You know, you're just not telling me. Why are we here today?
We're here today because last time I was here, we was have an issue with him. He was have a DUI. I guess when we filled the application, we not filled it up right.
There you go. So when I ask questions, just give me the answer. We don't have to do it. That's really frustrating for me.
Yes,
All right,
So, Mr. Gerard, you failed to disclose your convictions on your application. That's the issue.
Yes.
Okay. Have you since then sent in amended paperwork to show that you have had those convictions?
Yes, I got with my lawyer. I also completed a lot of programs afterwards. That was about 3 years ago when it occurred. But you know, he's more hands-on with the business. I handle other like up to top stuff, so that's why he knows more with the violations.
Have you also disclosed your ownership to the commission?
Yeah.
So if I look up your file right now, will you show up as an owner?
Will I? Should I? Yeah, I should. Yeah.
All right, let's look. Who files your paperwork? Who files your renewals? Do you do it yourselves?
I continue to do it.
You do it?
No, I can't.
Accountant does it?
When she would do the paperwork, she don't know if he got a DUI.
Right now I'm showing, let me make sure I have the right permit. Right now I'm showing as owner Simarjit Singh,
Yeah, that's one of them.
and that's who?
That's
one of my
partners.
And Al Hadi Bain.
I'm here.
So it's showing that you each have 50% ownership. You're not showing up as an owner at all.
Yeah, he's up on it too.
And
should be right.
but you're supposed to be listed as an owner. What percentage of ownership do you have?
Should have 30-ish, yeah.
30%?
Yeah.
Okay. So then if you're not even showing up as an owner, then I'm going to guess that the paperwork showing your convictions has probably not been submitted as well.
It's because, what was it? I was 50% owner. I gave him like my 30%.
So what percentage of ownership do you have now?
20.
20?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to continue this renewal until we can get the proper ownership figured out, sorted out, and submitted to the commission properly.
Okay.
Because that's what this violation was for. It should have already been done.
Okay.
So I will, did I give you my card last time?
Yes, can I have another one, please?
Yes, I will give you my card. You need to get in contact with me. I will let you know what you need to do in order to get paperwork done properly. If we voted for this right now, we would deny your application because ownership is not correct. So you're going to be continued to Tuesday, September 8th. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're good to go.
Amy, we're just going to hold the pony till the end, just run through the other two.
Are you ready, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, we can go back to the pony.
Calling RR490-4389 RCI Dining Services Indiana Inc., doing business as The Pony, 3551 Lafayette Road.
We'll have remonstrators sit on this side. Over here. You want to pass that around?
Yeah. Do you have a pen down there? Here, you can use mine. Get some signatures real quick and then we'll... So you understand the process here? You will present, then we allow the remonstrators to share why they're remonstrating, then we come back to you for a final word, and then the vote, and the board calls for a vote. We have one. You don't have to answer their questions. The board could make their questions our questions, and that, I just
I'll
have
answer
to
any
be
questions, sir.
honest every time. Outside of that, we got good people all around us, so this should be a smooth process. And then, Mark, are you lead?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just everyone make sure the green light's on your microphone.
Green lights at the bottom of your microphones, and that table will be good. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President, members of the board, Mark Webb, Indianapolis, on behalf of RCI Dining Services, Indiana, Inc. I have with me, as one of the owners, Jerry Westland, and I also have with me as our security, our new security consultant, new since the incident happened, security consultant whose name is Scott Bedwell. Scott is retired Indiana State Excise Police with 25 years experience. So what happened here, this was a very sad incident. Back in October, we had an individual who presented themselves at the establishment who had been there several times before. He had an ID that had been scanned into the system numerous times. It was a valid ID. The club uses a ID system that is wired into all of the states, so it will detect fake IDs. This was not a fake ID, it was a real ID. Just wasn't that person, but it's close enough to fool a good eye. The individual was on the premises for a period of time. The individual then left for reasons completely unknown to us, and we will probably never know. The individual left, headed out on the Lafayette Road. A minute or two later, that individual came back onto the parking lot, got into an altercation with an off-duty law enforcement officer. Gunshots were fired, and the individual is deceased. Now, what I will tell you is that since that time, we have had no issues, no violations, no charges of any kind. The other thing I would tell you is that from a operations perspective, best practices in the industry is now, with the technology that's available, are these ID scanners. We all encourage our clients to use them because they work. And they were doing best practices. The one thing that a scanner will not catch is if it's a genuine ID, but not the person that handed it over. The scanner doesn't have any way to know that. So policy, we have changed. What we have done since then is we have changed our policy to up it to now we require, for people that appear under 40, we're requiring a second piece of ID. And with the idea that this would not happen again. We employ 75 people are employed at this establishment, and all of these are jobs that support families. We do not want to lose this permit. I am going to turn this over and ask Mr. Westland to go ahead and speak about ownership responses to this.
Sure. We take this very seriously. This was a terribly tragic incident that took place. This gentleman had presented his ID and it had been scanned in to what we have been told is a government-approved ID scanner. We use it at a number of locations around the country. He had been scanned 7 times without a problem. Apparently, it was an older brother of his. I don't know what happened after he left, that he had this problem, that when he came back on, involved an off-duty law enforcement officer who had been a customer, and that's where this terrible shooting took place. I have been told that there's been no charges filed with or around that. I would have to defer to IMPD on that, but there's been no charges. Everyone was cleared of what took place. But this was a terrible accident. Asking people for 2 forms of ID if there's a question mark is something we can implement. It's tough. I don't like the phrase 2 forms of government ID with pictures. That has a ugly connotation. But if that's what we need to do, we'll do it.
Do it all the time.
Yeah,
That's the way it was when I went through it.
100 exactly, and that's what I'm trying to. So this is we have never had a problem with underage. We recognize the fact that there are some people that don't like our type of business, but
legal.
I don't necessarily eat at everybody else's restaurants either. So what can I tell you? But this is something we take very seriously. We have multiple locations across the country, and we don't take problems lightly. That's the reason we have Scott, who, as I said, was a former excise officer who trains our people. All of our people go through Serve Safe. They go through Safe Tips, a number of trainings throughout the year in order to do their jobs. But we again, as our attorney so eloquently said, we have 75 people who work there. Who to lose those jobs would be tragic. And if it's my responsibility to try and do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. I can answer any questions you have.
If I could, I helped Jerry in other parts of the state. I'm now taking over the central part of Indiana with his permits. In other parts of the state, since I've taken over, we haven't had any issues. My plan is, with working with him now, we're going to relieve those problems, if there have been.
How many locations do you have in the state?
3.
I think that is, well, we've got 2 Indianapolis.
2 Indianapolis, Anderson, Evansville, and 1 that's being sold.
4 active locations?
4 active locations.
4 active permits in Indiana right now.
What's your other location in Indianapolis?
7259. It's the one, it's on 7259 Pendleton Pike.
I apologize, I don't mean to be evasive, but they all have different names for the LLC, so I apologize if I have to look.
I think it's commonly known as Jiggles. At one time it was known as Babes East. But it's that location.
Right.
This is
I'm sorry. Yeah.
This one's in Lafayette Road, Tony?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, would you like to hear from the remonstrators?
Yes.
Do I have a choice?
No, no, you don't. I just try to be polite as long as I can. All right, we'll go ahead and kick it your way.
Okay. My name is Sergeant Jonathan Kors with IMPD Nuisance Abatement. We have a packet together that I've given to everybody. I'll just go through this with some of the things that we have noticed. Exhibit 1 is the Secretary of State, the LLC for the business. Letter B is the alcohol permit. C is the map of the premise if needed to reference anything. And then we go into the only excise report that we have is directly related to the homicide investigation. This is a report from Excise Officer Adam Buckley. The business was cited for a public nuisance and allowing a minor to loiter. During the course of this investigation, Officer Buckley gained video from an employee from the business. He ended up handing over video surveillance to Officer Buckley. Officer Buckley reviewed the footage, and there were definitely some concerns while reviewing the footage. I do have a video of this. It's sensitive in nature. It does show adult entertainment, so if needed, I can show that, but it's pretty descriptive, like timestamps in this document on page 3 on the top right. It shows kind of all the concerns that he noticed while watching the video. 2 males entered the premise, and they never did get carded. You can see them directly go right past that area where they would get carded, and they gave money to the security officer and then enter the premise. They had an argument with 2 males shortly after arriving. At one point, one of the males pushed the arm of a dancer while he was trying to interact with the 2 males that he previously had an altercation with. At one point, they were removed from the establishment. The other 2 males and then these 2 males that were causing problems, you could see them kind of unsteady on their feet and talking to security. They kept talking with security, and then they were escorted out of the establishment. And then the rest of it, I can't, it's still an open homicide investigation, so I can't really go into the details, but like Mr. Webb said, there was an altercation in the parking lot. Somebody was shot. A vehicle was struck, I believe.
So he gets in, or they get in, they're escorted out.
Correct.
They leave. When they come back, we have a homicide?
Correct.
Good.
Yes. And I'd like to just highlight, this was at the bottom of page 3, the second to last paragraph. Officer Buckley found that the business failed to card or identify 2 of the males who entered the establishment. These 2 males caused altercations throughout the evening and were never removed from the business despite their behavior inside the place. It was later determined that 2 males in the video were identified as 19-year-old males. So there's 2 things here. They entered without being carded, and they were also underage.
Who do you think they paid him?
They did. The video showed paying security. This whole incident resulted in a male and a female being run over by a vehicle in the parking lot, and the 19-year-old male was shot and killed at this location.
Was that a separate 19-year-old male from one of the ones that entered, or one of the ones that entered
One of the ones that
died?
entered.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just going to go through some of the IMPD reports that we have. That's Exhibit 3. Letter A is a domestic disturbance that occurred, and this was on July 14th of 2025. This was an incident where they left and then they also returned. There was a domestic, and the female was hitting a male, and this just occurred. She was it's noted that she was extremely intoxicated to the point of her not being able to stand up straight without leaning on a vehicle or almost falling. This is just one of the first incidents that we have. And then letter B is just short IMPD police report related to the homicide investigation, and this was on October 19th of 2025. Letter C is also related to the homicide investigation. It's a separate report. This kind of medics were trying to render aid to the victim in this homicide. There was a black female who was laying on the sidewalk in front of the business. The medics were tending to her, and then the male had been shot and he was on the ground. Medics were trying to move and somebody to render aid. They attempted to render aid, and then one of the females, I believe, kicked the medic and a fireman, striking the fireman twice. IMPD officer deployed a taser to subdue this individual and get them into custody. So this is just kind of builds onto that same incident from that night where continued issues outside an active crime scene. 3D is another incident. This was on February 1st of 2026. This is an incident between two employees at the bar. There was a female that was working. She threw a piece of ice at another individual that was also working. A physical altercation happened inside the business. Security guard came up from behind one of the females. She said that the security guard proceeded to choke her to the point where she could not breathe. Witnesses that were on scene stated she was not choked, but she could be heard screaming, "Get the F off of me." This was all inside of the business while they were open. The female that was involved, I guess at one point she said it was a 6v1 kind of altercation inside this business between her and 6 other people. And she retrieved pepper spray from her person and began pepper spraying females, and ended up the other female that was initially involved was the person that was sprayed mostly. So this is another incident inside the location during operational hours. And going into 4A, this is the health department inspection reports. There's no manager certification on site for 4A, soiled cooking and baking equipment, no consumer advisory on the menu, a violation for availability of hand washer cleanser, and then a violation of cleanability of floors, walls, and ceilings. Letter B was on February 4th of this year, a violation for no manager certification on site, cleanability of floors, walls, and ceilings. And then C was March 25th of 2026, violation, no manager certification on site again. Going into 5 is fire inspection reports. It's lengthy, but I can summarize it. Basically, Corson, the annual report noted multiple deficiencies with their fire inspection system. And then number 6 is social media that we did find on the internet, a topless gelatin wrestling flyer, college IDs getting free for C, and then bottle and dance package deal, and video is available if needed. I just don't know if it's needed at this point.
The advertisements, is there anything out of line? I mean, we see them, so they seem common. I don't know, are they in here? They add context, but is there anything wrong with them?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Does the board have any questions going through the violation report here?
The homicide. So nobody was charged, but is the investigation still open?
My understanding is that the investigation is still open.
Okay.
I believe the investigation, can I speak? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, I believe the investigation centers on the off-duty law enforcement officer and his interactions with the other person that was killed. Additionally, the females that he was discussing were with that law enforcement officer, and again, all that was, it didn't involve any of our people.
I'm gonna stop you there. I'll let you answer. That's a good answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
But we, if I think of this Connors Pub, it's been kind of going along with extensions. We would not be hearing this if the prosecutor hadn't.
The violation with the commission has been settled.
Yeah.
The criminal, their criminal charges that are pending stemming from a homicide
But the
itself.
prosecutor's saying, as far as the establishment goes, they have a clear understanding. That's the document, the report. and
This is the
okay.
report, and it's been settled with the commission.
All right. Thank you.
Do you want to hear?
I have
The law enforcement officer.
couple more questions.
Do you want to hear from Mary before?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mary.
Yes, when I was asked to be here,
You can make sure your light is on.
little green light at the bottom.
And then state your name.
I knew that, sorry. Mary Clark, I'm with the International Marketplace Coalition. I represent the west side of Indianapolis that is the most diverse and welcoming part of Indy. That's me saying it, but I believe it. And we're working hard to make that area a destination. We were just recently featured on WFYI as a hidden gem for the state of Indiana. My concerns is, I'll just say, I was leaving the bank, Chase Bank, one Friday afternoon, and I'm driving down the street, and there's about 10 women in front of the pink pony that perhaps they had on bathing suits, but it looked like bras and panties to me. Cars were screeching, stopping, because these women are holding up signs. And I can't tell you exactly what they said, but I'm sure it was inviting people to the pink pony. That is a concern for me. That is a true nuisance to our area. And in the times that we are living in now, with women being exploited as they are, this is just another way to exploit them openly, and people, mostly men, are saying it's okay to exploit women, and I have a trouble with that.
I would like to object to the characterization of exploiting women. That is a connotation to the extent that it's impacted to my client, that they are actively doing this. My client would like to respond.
If you want, it was a, and I did not the brightest idea, but I believe it was during race week, and it was a car wash for charity. Okay, if there was, I mean, it's not something that goes on regularly. It was, if it was a one-time deal. I called my manager when she just, I've never met this woman until today. I didn't know there was an organization. I've never been invited to join an organization or be a part of one, which we absolutely do and will, as we do in all communities. But what I can tell you is that it was a one-time car wash for charity, which we have done at other establishments that I operate, and they normally do it for the animal shelter. But nobody violates the law. Nobody.
It's not part of this.
Yeah, it's
so
not.
I'd say that to Mary. I understand. For myself, when I took a board appointment, I did rectify kind of where I stood on that. It's a legal enterprise. It's not one we have to support or like. But the state of Indiana, it's legal, so we have to hear these standalone. I don't know, standalone liquor cases.
Can I offer something to the point about it being a nuisance? So you had mentioned about the cars screeching,
yes,
which I do think is something to point out because of what street that business sits on. I'm a West Sider. I drive up and down that street every day. And traffic is already an issue, so doing anything in the conduct of your business that would stop traffic on that street or cause any traffic obstruction, I think is something of note.
It would be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
I have a question. Security footage, video, access, clear answers. How was the establishment as it pertained to your evening out there? I mean, did they open the door and say, hey, here's your security footage. What do you need to know? I'm going to help you.
That wasn't me. That was Excise Officer Buckley that dealt with that part.
In the report, it has like multiple instances of the officer trying to communicate with a Dan Davies multiple times and kind of giving the runaround around trying to get that footage. It looks like it took at least a week and a half. So they started conversing about this on, I'm not going to belabor the point, but in the document it says that they kept going round and round, and then they had to give Dan an ultimatum to actually get the footage finally delivered to the police
I
department.
think the problem was that stuff's now kept in the cloud on a mainframe, and they kept wanting different cameras. We have
I hear that,
42
but here's
cameras
the
there.
point. Here's the point. He asked about what the transaction was like getting it.
They
It
looked
took
at that night
forever,
for sure.
and in this report, there's a lot of, to me, what it reads like is a lot of BSing to get them the footage that they asked for, which we've seen before in here. So that's one issue. Also, when you guys started out, you talked a lot about IDs and checking and your scanner system. All of that's fine and well, but if you don't actually check the IDs, it means nothing, which is what happened in this instance. So then that makes me wonder, hearing this, how many times has that happened and nothing happened? But then this time it happens and, you know, we have a homicide, which brings us all here today.
If I could, one of the things.
Wait,
Yeah, sure.
before we move on, are there demonstrators, are you?
I was just going to add to what she had said. It does show on November 12th, Officer Buckley contacted Dan to retrieve the flash drive. He had a meeting scheduled to go to the District 6 office. He messaged Officer Buckley at 1:15 saying he was running late. Officer Buckley waited for 2 hours and Dan never arrived. Officer Buckley messaged him twice with no response. He did end up dropping off the flash drive 2 days later.
We gave that the night of the shooting, we turned over everything. They came in and videotaped everything that they downloaded that stuff. Unfortunately, I don't know why there would have been a delay in, we would have to ship the the flash drive to Dan to give him. If that took a day or two, I apologize. But IMPD got all of those, I think if you look, they got all that footage that night of the shooting.
To avoid going back and forth, I don't want us to start going back and forth. So let's let the demonstrators complete their testimony, and then we'll come back to you. Okay.
So the only thing, other thing that I would want to note is through his reporting here is that many times people have been seen on this one video staggering to the point where they can't, I took it that they couldn't stand up straight. And that seems to be a problem to me. Where is the limit on how much alcohol is served in this establishment that people can't control their actions? Because I think it is common knowledge that the more alcohol that one takes in, whether it be alcohols or drugs, and this is not a drug issue, but the more you take in, the less control you have over the way you think rationally. So I have a concern there that people are being served beyond the limit of them being able to control themselves. I have a concern.
I'd like to respond.
Hang on just a minute.
I'm away.
You're going to wait?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're both?
I don't have anything else.
So, okay. All right. We'll come
All
back.
right, well, first of all, on the service of intoxicateds, the law is very clear that an establishment only violates the law, not because they have intoxicated people in there, but if they serve them knowing them to be intoxicated. There's no evidence from any video footage that any of these people were served in an intoxicated state. We would have had no way to reasonably know, and I guarantee you that if there was, we would have been cited for it. We were not cited for it. I think that's a red herring here. It's not, I don't think it's fair to hold that against them on this. We do take service of intoxicated people very seriously, and I'll let Mr. Westland.
All of our people go through 3 different over-serving things. Our insurance companies require that. Unfortunately, we live in a litigious society, and if somebody's over-served and has a problem, I promise you, I get a lawsuit every time. And I can tell you that's not a problem that we've had, that's not a problem we've been accused of, and I don't know why someone would be staggering. Maybe their shoes hurt, I don't know. But if it's a problem that we have, it's something we would certainly address.
Okay.
Is Dan Davies, does he still manage the location?
No, he's not the on-site manager. He's not the on-site manager.
But he was an area manager, correct?
That's correct.
Does he still work for the company?
That's correct.
Yes, he does.
And because the other locations are no longer operating, is he?
He has other locations that he oversees. And again, if he was 2 days late dropping something off, I know he was there the night of the shooting, but if he was late, that's an inexcusable problem.
We've got a guy taking money to let 19-year-olds in.
Well, he was paying admission. That's
Was there
the
a
guy
cover charge?
Yeah, it's the cover charge he was collecting. It wasn't slipping a guy some money. It was actually the guy charging admission.
Because they had IDs.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, it was the, yeah, they had the IDs.
You really don't know that.
The IDs
You
weren't
could have given some extra money.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, yeah, did somebody tip somebody? I don't know, but I can tell you that what the video shows is a paying admission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I do know that this guy's ID had been scanned 7 times prior, including that same week.
I mean, you can keep saying that it's scanned 7 times, but whoever's on the door scanning that, if they even got any question that this person doesn't look like this person, even with a good ID, I mean, it's still on them. It's not on the scanner.
Unfortunately, we're a slave to whoever those people are.
Yeah.
But they're your employees. And so
They're not
your
here today, I am.
You don't live in Indiana, do you?
No, ma'am.
How often are you here?
2 to 3 times a month.
So 2 to 3 times a month you're in each location?
Yes.
What's still sticking out to me is you said you've never seen this lady in your life. She's in touch with probably 90% of the businesses over there.
You can ask her if she's been to my business.
Well,
I mean, I don't know who she is.
well, I'm saying, I think it would be incumbent upon you to know who the community leaders are over there and what their expectations are, and just to have that relationship. So that kind of bothers me, just to hear you say you've never seen this lady.
I've never met her before, no.
Okay.
Amy, the violations.
Yes.
It's everything that happened in the parking lot.
Well,
I'm just
I
really
think
trying to boil it.
in this case, I think we have to determine whether or not the bar's actions or inactions are responsible for what ultimately led to happening in the parking lot.
I would say it certainly doesn't help.
Why?
It doesn't help. Why? Because according to this report, the people involved in the shooting had multiple instances that evening of being involved in altercations, and it took a while for something to be done as far as them being removed. So that's one. Also, the issue of them being minors, however many times they've come in before, to Mr. Lester's point, 19. So I'm like, was the ID scanned 7 times just that year? I mean, whenever that happened, the point is, a minor was able to slip through the cracks and get in here. And according to the report with the video footage that we do see, they spoke to security, they were not carded, and they gave security money. You say it's for an admission?
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps. But all we have to go off of is that people were not carded, they were allowed in, and they paid money to get in, and they're underage. And they were involved in multiple nuisances, instances of, altercations that night. So I think that there are at least 2 things that the bar did wrong in providing an environment for something like this to happen.
I would agree. Obviously, we did wrong by letting them in. We settled a violation for that very reason. We've acknowledged that we had an underage person on our premises that shouldn't have been there. What we've done since then, our goal, our job, should be to figure out how did this happen and how do we keep it from happening again.
And I wish that we probably would have heard some of that up top, because this spirit of repentance that's coming up now has not been the case throughout this entire conversation.
When you say up top, I mean, that's what we've said from the beginning of this hearing.
That's not what that's not the vibe that I got throughout this conversation.
We've looked to go back and to figure out how we could prevent this from happening, where we went to second form of ID for questionable people, and by questionable people, we're having to define them as a class of people who look under 40. We don't have any choice. We have to do that. And so that's why we have gone to that. We have operated since this time. We haven't had any issues of violations, any complaints. And so we have tried to seriously address this. This is not anything that we would ever
There's not a pattern
tolerate.
here. We don't do this. We don't have underage people in our clubs.
We're sitting here talking about one.
Well, if I may, I think the history shows that this is the first minor sales that happened in the last 5 to 10 years. I'm not aware of any other violations that involve minors.
I agree with you. That's correct. And your locations that we've had in Marion County, the issues for the other locations have not involved sales to minors. So this is a different violation than what we've had at the other locations. And we haven't had the issues at this location as far as the dancers and the violence that we've had at your other locations with this one. So it's, when we look at the history of this location, they've had some violations for paperwork, the human trafficking paperwork. Yeah, posting those notifications. There was an after-hours complaint in 2022. They were given a 1-year renewal for the paperwork issues in June of 2025. So they were on a 1-year when this occurred.
Now, so are you guys, have you kind of wrapped up your rebuttal, if you will? I mean, I think this is fairly clean. As far as the industry and all that, I mean, I think we look at the state legislature and you know, it's like gambling's immoral as long as it's done on a boat. So there can be, you know, lines drawn. I look at this in a standalone scenario. It's not as bad as a lot of the ones we've dealt with. We have taken a license from the area in the past that I felt like it was egregious. Scanners, you know, they're important, but boy, that human error piece, and I don't know what you have from eye on the sky in those scenarios. But you threw them out, and then what they do when they come back, I mean, I don't know. I'm finding an ability to separate this from some of the tragedies we've dealt with in other parts of the county. I'll accept a motion from, you know, if the board has any further questions, let's hear them out. I think we've given them a good due process here, but if you have a motion, let's hear it. And then if not, then I know what I gotta do.
I have a question about the 1 year. So we granted them a 1 year based off of the issues with the paperwork in 2025?
Yes.
Okay. What is typically the pattern of this board when it comes to violations happening during that 1 year period?
It depends. Typically, if it's another violation for the same or similar circumstances, it's been a denial. With a different type of violation, sometimes we've given them a renewal or a 1 year renewal. It just depends on the nature of the violation.
Got it.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to deny.
There's a motion to deny. Is there a second?
I second.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm still thinking. And when it comes down to, I mean, what happened is tragic. I mean, it led to a homicide, but if we look at just specifically the violation itself, it's a violation for sales to minors and a single violation for sales to minors. We don't typically deny for that.
No,
This is
that's
just
what I'm
me
saying.
talking out my thoughts.
Well,
This is
I'm
me
with you.
talking out my thoughts.
If you put them all together, it's easy to go, well, here we got the guy from Vegas again. Well,
Which is, I mean, he's a partner in
he
this.
is too, yeah.
Yeah, but then again, when we look at the other locations, those were very different violations than what we're facing here.
Very.
So,
What, is he here today for show? Or what's he? Is he gonna?
No.
You turning things over to him to
No.
make decisions?
Yes, I spent plenty of time with Scott, yes.
We began to be pretty good friends in the last couple of years.
Well, I watched that, but I mean, no offense to you, the whole, keep your separation professional, please.
what's been the history with your locations outside of Marion County? Scott, what's been the violation history for the other locations?
The location in Evansville, Ponytails, we haven't had any violations.
No violations
No
there?
violations
How long
there.
have you owned that location?
I believe that was issued in 21 or 22
Yeah,
during
7, 8
COVID.
years.
It was during COVID, I believe.
What about Anderson?
I'm not.
We had there was a violation in Anderson for serving after hours, and that was cleared, and Anderson was renewed last year. They haven't had any issues.
I mean, I was gonna, if there was no motion made, I probably would have made it 1 year. Put the separation between the paperwork, remembering that, the posters and that conversation, but this, you know, if it's the same violation under a 1 year or within a wheelhouse for me, then it's nobody listened, nothing was changed, let's get rid of them.
It does bother me that they were allowed to remain in the location for as long as they were, and that security had spoken to them multiple times why they were allowed to remain is an issue that bothers me. We've dealt with Dan Davies before. I haven't had any issues with him being compliant. I'm sure that the report is accurate for what, you know, for whatever reason he wasn't immediately compliant with Officer Buckley, but I could go with the 1 year with you.
So then we found ourselves with a 2-2 split. I'll apologize for everybody's time, but the board is set up to operate in just this way. We have no problem taking license. We've taken a couple of your partners, you know, recently. But that's where I stand. I mean, staying case by case issue. I see this, I would have made it 1 year. My partners here, I trust, you know, went to deny, we split, so we'll have to lean on the state for some help on this one. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, so reasons for denial, Peter's public nuisance.
Public nuisance.
You want your black thing, they usually need those. Yeah, so you guys.
Just give those to us.
You might just throw them out. Take care. Hey, we haven't had a split in forever. All right, Peter, bring it home. All right.
Okay, let's do,
The palace? Yes.
so, okay, so we need to call, did you already call that place?
No, these last two.
Okay, there's a couple on the next page. So call that place, yes, I get to keep. Yeah,
Call that place.
yeah.
Calling RR 493-7630, That Place Bar LLC, doing business as That Place, address 8810 South Emerson, Suite
They have
100.
requested a continuance.
All right.
Skip and some for a second because that's Mark's.
Gotcha.
Let's go to these two.
Yep. Calling CH 493-0199, Lafayette Room LLC, doing business as West Indy Event Center, 1718 Lafayette Road.
Anyone here for West Indy Event Center? Let's see how many times.
I don't remember it.
They've only been continued once, so I'll show them continued.
Calling RR 494-1916, Paragua Family Restaurant LLC, address 4810 West 34th Street.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you
I'm
push
here.
that chair back over to the side for me?
absolutely.
It's just visually bothering me.
I'm Erica Moreno, Surita, power of attorney for this license. And then I have Jose Riso, he's the owner of the restaurant. We're here because he recently received a violation in June for not posting smoking sign he went ahead and put it on basically anywhere where people will be around the area. And then also, he did mention that last year, which I recently found out about, was that they purchased alcohol from a non-licensed provider, kind of used to people coming and selling them liquor, and unfortunately that one time they just didn't verify documentation. So.
Sir, do you speak English at all?
No.
No? Okay.
I can translate.
Yeah, but
Yes.
are you associated with him, or are you just kind of helping today?
Associated how?
Do you work for him?
I don't work for him, but we do assist them with the renewals, things like that. Yeah.
Who is we?
So I'm with Indie Tax and Other Services Inc. And we just provide, since there is a language barrier, you know, they come in and they say, hey, can you help me fill out this application online? And we do that and provide power of attorney just in case they want us to call on their behalf.
Okay.
Can you ask him, does he understand he has to purchase his alcohol from a wholesaler?
¿Entiendes que tienes que comprar el licor de un wholesaler que son específicamente para vender licor en grandes cantidades para los negocios? ¿Entiendes? ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you getting your beer from?
Ahorita, ¿dónde están comprando la cerveza?
Creo que se llama el distribuidor. No recuerdo el distribuidor. Creo que se llama el que le compro. No lo tenemos en vista en la contaduría.
He can't remember the name.
Monarch?
Yeah, man.
Monarch?
Okay, Monarch.
Okay. And you understand you cannot purchase beer from anywhere else other than someone that has a wholesaler's permit.
Y entiendes que no puedes comprar licor de alguien que no tiene esa licencia. Sí.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. How many employees does he have that serves alcohol?
Ahorita, ¿cuántos empleados tienen que sirven alcohol?
5.
Five.
Do they all have employee permits?
¿Todos tienen su licencia de servir alcohol?
Yeah.
Do they all have training certificates?
Y todos tienen su entrenamiento, certificado de entrenamiento.
Yeah.
How do you keep track of that?
¿Y cómo lo manejan? ¿Cómo es que sabes que ellos tienen su licencia?
Al momento de contratarlos les pido su ID, su licencia permitida para poder servir y vender alcohol.
Okay, so his process is, once they're hired, he asks for their ID and then also asks for their license or the certificate of training and also their license to serve alcohol.
Your firm's name is Taxes and Other Things?
Indie Tax and Other Services, Inc.
He needs the other services piece.
Okay.
We're not buying alcohol the correct way,
Okay.
not handling the permits, we don't post our smoking signs, don't have any service training records. It just seems like it's the administrative part of running this business.
Okay.
The restaurant piece, I'm sure the food's great, and the environment, but there's a business component here that somebody has to take care of. We've had worse violations, but these are kind of that broken window syndrome. When we can't run the business piece, everything else starts to slip. That's my concerns.
As far as the certificates of training, you said you guys don't have that on file?
Well, we don't, he should.
Okay, he should. Okay.
So when the excise comes in and they say, show us your records, you ought to have somebody in there, as long as the business is open, that has a key, full access, and they can take us wherever we need to go. They show the records, and then they can validate whether those records are up to date or not.
Mhm.
That's where the violation will come
Of
from.
every employee?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I tried to say it's the business administration piece, and maybe that's something you can help him with, but that's what I see. Any further questions from the board?
Does he have any questions?
¿Tienes algunas preguntas?
You didn't translate what he said. Can
Okay.
you talk to him about all this administrative stuff?
So, él está diciendo que a lo mejor nosotros te podemos ayudar con la parte administrativa, porque aquí hay, debe de haber alguien ahí en el restaurante que si en dado caso un oficial venga y quiere saber si todos los meseros tienen su certificado de entrenamiento, los records, todos tienen que tener, alguien tiene que tener un como perfil de todo eso. Tiene que haber un control porque no están verificando las licencias, el sign. So, hay una parte administrativa que tienen que mejorar.
One last thing. The way this process works is if you end up on a violation report, we're coming back, and we're going to validate and make sure the changes have been made. So I'd let him know that he is on that list, and we want to see corrective actions taken. Fair?
So, ahorita cuando ya tienen una violación, ya están en la lista de vigilación. Entonces tienen que estar 100% haciendo las cosas correctas porque ellos van a regresar para verificar información.
Okay. Any further questions from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Good luck.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Have a good day.
Out of the cage a little bit.
Calling RR 493-8160 End Zone Bar and Grill LLC, doing business as End Zone Bar and Grill, address 8311 North Michigan Road.
This one has 3 violation reports.
Where's our address? 3rd Michigan.
Were you sworn in at the beginning of the meeting?
No, ma'am.
I didn't. Okay, go ahead and raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear from under the penalties for perjury that the answers that you have given on your application or any answers you might give to any questions asked by this board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
If it please the board, while you're reading the reports, Mark Webb, Indianapolis, for the permit holder. I would tell you that, is it showing, by the way, is it showing clear?
It's not, but you've got that right. Thank you.
And then pay $1,000.
Okay, is this your only copy?
I have one more copy.
Okay.
And one more copy.
Okay, I'll give this back to you.
That's fine.
I'm gonna pull it.
Let me
Oh, the violation.
say this.
The location. Go ahead.
I don't know how long everybody wants to be here today, but I would tell you that the settlement of the latest violation is just simply because of the history that this permit has taken. The establishment closed permanently on or about the 18th day of May. The permit is in escrow. The settlement
It's in the strip
indicates...
mall with the old Big Lots and everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find your location, Mark.
Yeah.
I knew the name. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, it's permanently closed. He just wants an opportunity to sell it. He's lost everything, and that's it. I think, in all fairness, this is a cautionary tale, and who you partner with can make you or break you. In this case, it went the wrong way.
I would like to even ask, so I've sat here a while, this location has problems. I mean, we had problems with this location, I don't think it was called the End Zone, it was before Amy's time, but boy, it's just...
It has been, it's had...
I don't know, just that End Zone area. I live out that way, so I drive by. But I mean, before, we've just had problem after problem in that spot. I don't usually equate a location to problems. I equate it to the ownership, but it doesn't matter.
So the permit holder has struck a deal with the commission,
and has agreed that the permit will stay permanently closed, just going to sell it in an arm's length
The
transaction.
state commission?
Yeah, at the ATC, yes. The violation was settled, and this, I believe this should be on the agenda for tomorrow to be approved.
The violation, the settlement,
The
not
settlement.
yeah.
Yeah, the settlement would be approved, and essentially, this is just not my client has decided this is not the profession for him.
So just to make sure that the board understands, there were 3 violations that we're dealing with. The newest one had still been pending, which is why it's been continued several times. They did finally settle it with the commission on Friday, and that settlement offer was in lieu of revocation or suspension. He was required to pay a fine, and then in addition to that, the respondent agrees to keep the permit in escrow and not to reopen, and shall seek a transfer to an independent party by means of arm's length transaction to a new location. We've seen that before from other locations. So what we are looking at and dealing with today is whether or not we feel that the violations are, the history's bad enough that we deny the renewal, or do we approve it to allow him to transfer it?
Are you going to ask for another liquor license in the future?
Nah. You selling that to a buddy?
Right now, I don't have a buyer as we speak, but there won't be anybody I know, anything like that, so.
Tell us about, we do need to talk about some of the violations. Tell us about what happened in May of 2025. No, I'm sorry, in February of 2025. They're shooting?
Okay, so, it was an incident that happened in the parking lot. It was way further down. And I guess the guys in the parking lot got into it and got in the shootout, but they were never in the club. Then I think on the same day, we had a nuisance, domestic issue, and one of my security guards didn't have his correct permit. Is that it?
I mean, that's one of the incidents.
How often were you there?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
What level of...
I mean, every day we were open.
Okay, let me ask you. Who's Leroy Moore? Tell me who Leroy Moore is.
Okay, so I had an older cousin, which is my partner in the beginning, and we had a trucking company together, so he was like, I had a bar in St. Louis, so let's open a bar for another form of income, and so I followed his lead. I was with it, and I didn't know that he wasn't supposed to be on like his criminal history. He had a criminal history that I didn't know of. And so when Mr. Swallows found that out, he brought it to my attention. And he said I had to get Mr. Leroy off everything, which I did. And this was going on 5 years. He'd been open, so this is well into our 3rd, maybe 4th year. And so during that whole process, I was really following his lead with everything. But I should have taken it up on myself to learn his business inside and out, which I didn't. So when he was kicked off everything, I had to take up our responsibility. And it was rough. And a lot of mistakes that I made was due to not knowing or didn't have the experience. But by the time I figured out and started getting control of things, violations had amped up. It was too late.
I just want to make sure that we're understanding correctly. So Leroy comes to you and says, let's open a bar?
We was already in business with our semi-company we had.
Okay.
And so this was another avenue.
Okay.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
together you guys decided to buy a bar and open a bar?
Yes, ma'am.
But then he was never put on the paperwork as an owner?
That's correct. No.
But he was a partner, but everything was under your name?
That's basically what happened. I mean, he was in control of things, but everything as far as like the liquor license, he was on like the lease and stuff like that. And he was on our distribution as far as distributors, like for food, alcohol, and all that.
Basically, Leroy Moore was the face of the business everywhere but the alcohol permit, which, you know, we all know is not appropriate. It went on for a period of time until it was discovered last year when problems arose. So I would tell you that on this one, we did file a corrective action plan and had taken corrective action. And the corrective action involved removing Leroy Moore from everything, and instituting policies, zero tolerance policies with respect to employees, making sure having a mass educational employee certification education for everybody, increasing security there on Fridays and Saturday nights, electronic ID scanning system was put in, and so things like that. So those things were done, and all seemingly was operating okay until another violation happens in February. This one was for retail to retail, taking alcohol onto a premises. Now, in all fairness, he didn't realize, he should have, but he didn't realize that he couldn't have his own stash in his office. That it had to be, whatever he put in his office has got to come from inventory that's got to come from the wholesaler. Yeah. It's not illegal to have your favorite libation on a shelf in your office. What is illegal is if your favorite wholesaler doesn't carry that libation and you go buy it at Sam's Club because you think you can get a better deal on it and you bring it in. That's illegal.
That was a dumb mistake by me. I thought because you had a membership at Sam's Club,
no,
that it was a wholesaler.
I've read these, but I think we could.
Right.
I mean,
so we
there's
filed a
more
corrective
violations
action on that.
than there's
Then
going
the
on.
other thing finally that happened that I think was more than anybody could take was the incident in April. Now, there is a dispute of fact on the incident in April. However, it was enough for the commission to reconsider the letter of extension that had been issued, to recall it, to close him. And so the reason that this thing was open so long was because they sent a notice of violation. After we filed a motion to reconsider, an emergency motion to reconsider, 2 days later they gave us a hearing. We came over, unfortunately to no avail. The commission seemingly didn't accept the reasons for the changes that were made, which is their prerogative not to accept that. But then in June sometime in June, the offer came for revocation, which we could not accept. We reached out the end of June and basically said, you know, we're not taking this. You know, if you want to revoke, we'll go to a hearing in front of the commission. All we want to do is transfer the permit. Just let us sell and let us get out of this. So on Tuesday, a week ago, well, 6 days ago, I received an offer from the prosecutor that is the offer that is presented here. That came on Tuesday. My client came in on Friday and signed it. And so that's why this is not because we've tried to stall. He's closed. I mean, he's done.
Yeah.
And every delay is on his dime now because he can't sell until, A, there's no violation pending, and he's got a permit that is renewed for him to sell. So this is not a situation of him just simply wanting to drag this out. We did not want to drag it out. It's just, it's over, it's done, it was unfortunate. He sunk everything he had into this bar, and, you know, it didn't work out.
All right. We've debated time and time, and, you know, do we allow somebody to get this and sell it after things have gone wrong? And the only thing I can tell you is I do believe it's case-by-case basis. There's times where I'm adamantly against that. If he's telling me he's not going to apply for a future license, I think that's the best for all of us. This documentation is terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So if you have any further questions, ask them. But that's what we're really looking at. That's the...
My question, and Officer Sunye might be getting ready to explain this anyway, but because they've come to some sort of agreement with the commission, like what standing do we, or influence, like do we even have at this point?
So the only agreement they've come to with the commission right now is that the prosecutor agreed not to seek revocation and do a revocation hearing and allow it to be presented to the board.
Got it.
And to go through our
To the state
process.
board, or to
us.
To us, got it.
To us, to determine whether or not we want to allow him to renew it.
Got it.
When we've dealt with this many times where they've said, okay, I throw my hands up, I just want to sell it. But then I feel like the board has a responsibility to look at renewals the same way. Like, if these are the issues pending before us and we're voting on a renewal, we're not voting on a transfer, we're not voting on him the opportunity to sell it, we're voting strictly on a renewal with violations.
Yeah.
Do these violations constitute a denial, or do these violations constitute a renewal, an approval, a one-year renewal, based solely on the violations?
Yeah.
Well, and I guess I would like to add to that. I mean, there is an insurance policy built in here. It's self-insured, but it's an insurance policy. The permit's in escrow. It can't come out. So it can, this permit under his ownership can never be put to use again. And the only, even if there were if he were to change his mind and come and say, you know, I really want to try to put this back into use, she has veto power, because all she has to do is say, I'm not doing a final. No final, no license. And so there's a lot of protections built in here. He has determined that he thought maybe the bar life would be glamorous. He sunk everything he had into it. It's not worked out the way he had hoped it would. And so he simply wants to, he has, how many children do you have?
Twin girls. Birthday was yesterday.
And you're responsible for supporting them?
Their mother.
So, you know, now you're having to find, what are you doing now for work now that you're getting out of this business?
Training with a friend of mine doing logistics.
What kind of logistics?
Medical transportation, medical supplies, transportation.
All right, you're getting into the emotional side, and I got to keep it just the facts, sir.
This is my thing.
Except, I just want to say, you guys have talked about before, does he deserve? Is he profiting? No, there's no profit here. This is a complete and utter loss. And he's just trying to salvage, and that's it. So we're asking that you allow us to do that.
Does he deserve an approval based on the violations? And when we look at the totality of these 3 violation reports, we can even throw out the middle one. We deal with just the 2 public nuisance ones. The first one, we're dealing with a false ownership with an owner that was never disclosed, who had convictions which would have automatically excluded him from holding a permit. Then we have the public nuisance under Leroy's watch, which, if you want to blame everything on Leroy at that time, you're allowing him to run your business. Ultimately, that still comes back to you. But then, if we look at what happens after Leroy is now no longer part of the business, we get another public nuisance charge for yet more violence. And to me, it's a no-brainer vote if we were not facing.
Oh, if he wanted to keep it,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah, which I appreciate you illuminating like what our standing is here, because for this board, just focusing on the violations alone, it is a no-brainer. It's easily a vote to deny because of all the violations. It does suck to have a license and not be able to sell it or what have you. But that is part of what comes along with having a liquor license. That's just part of it, you know, and the violations alone, like, yeah.
All right, so, do we have any further questions? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve. I've seen us let businesses, I know it's a case-by-case basis, but who've had just as many or more violations, and we've let them sell. I know it's a case-by-case basis. And if he was here just to, like, renew it, yeah, I think I'd deny it, honestly.
You know, I'll follow your lead. So we have a motion to approve so that it'll be sold. I'll meet you there. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. They're going to split another one. And then those to deny, same sign.
Aye.
All right. So
And the reason being is I have to apply it evenly across the board.
Yeah.
What will I do with any location that has these violations? And I would never agree to approve a location with these types of violations.
I'm probably
Ditto.
Not even one of them, let
Yeah.
alone two.
Yeah.
kind of felt like that. We'll discuss it after. So the vote's been cast, vote's been taken. So we got a 2-2 split again.
Okay.
And it's kind of rare for us, actually.
I don't think
And
that's
my-
ever happened to me before.
My vote to deny is based on public nuisance and criminal acts.
Public nuisance and criminal acts.
All right. So we'll have, that'll be the last case here, and then we'll run through the automatic renewals, but this one's been heard. So I'll make a motion to approve the automatic renewals. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now, when you guys hit the door,